There's one discipline strategy that all parents should be using every single day. Can you guess what it is? It's a psychology term called positive reinforcement. That may sound complex, but it's really quite a simple concept to learn. In fact, I bet you already do it. In this episode, I'll walk you through the fundamentals of positive reinforcement with some real life examples, tell you one important thing to look out for, and let you know where to target your efforts to see the biggest results. Positive reinforcement means adding something pleasant to increase the likelihood of a behavior happening again. In parenting, that means adding something that your child likes to promote better behavior in the future. You're basically stacking the odds in your favor that your child will repeat good behavior in the future. You're manipulating your child's environment by intentionally reacting to them in a certain way, adding a response that you think will reinforce their behavior, making it more likely to occur again in the future. Positive reinforcement is actually part of a larger psychology theory called operant conditioning, and I have another episode that you can check out for the full scoop that I'll link to at the end of this video. Today we'll hone in on positive reinforcement. To simplify the concept, I actually prefer to call positive reinforcement add-on reinforcement, to clarify that parents are adding a response that will reinforce or encourage more of their child's good behavior. Here are 5 examples of add-on reinforcement applied to parenting. First, your child smiles, you smile back at them. Second, your child laughs, you smile and say, "Aren't you the cutest thing?" Third, your child says a new word, you clap and say, "You did a great job." Fourth, your child draws you a picture, you hug them and say, "Wow, thank you so much, I love it." And fifth, your child says they made a new friend at school. You give them a high five and say, "That's so exciting, good job being outgoing." Each of these parental responses is naturally or intrinsically reinforcing to your child, meaning your child likes to see you smile, hear you laugh, receive praise from you, and get a high five from you. The positive feeling they have when you do these things makes them want to keep smiling and laughing and drawing you photos. So if you want to keep seeing these behaviors, keep reinforcing them. Remember, when we're talking about operant conditioning theory, we're discussing consequences or the environmental reactions to your child's behavior. Consequences don't need to have a negative connotation. The vast majority of your use of operant conditioning should be using add-on reinforcement. I'll briefly touch on 4 nuances of using add-on reinforcement in your parenting practice. First, honest praise. You can praise physical attributes to boost your child's self-image, choices like outfit selections, behaviors like kindness shown towards others, and accomplishments like new skills learned. But be sure to mean it when you praise your child. Don't over-flatter. Not every picture has to be the best one you've ever seen. Your child is learning to trust that you support them, but also that you're honest with them. Second, accidental reinforcement. So another thing to be aware of is the possibility of accidentally reinforcing a behavior. I find that this comes up most with other people's kids. So if you ever see a friend's child do something totally rude or inappropriate, yet adorably cute, like a teeny one talking back to their parents, or mimicking inappropriate gestures, or sulking, or stomping, or pouting, do your best to ignore the behavior. Turn away if you need to hide a smile. You don't want to accidentally reinforce that behavior by smiling and laughing, because that might encourage them to repeat the behavior. It may be cute to you, but probably not to their parents. Those behaviors can be adorable in a toddler, but are not adorable in big kids. So we want to teach them about appropriate behavior early. Third, goal behaviors. Be very conscientious about your use of add-on reinforcement for goal behaviors. This means focusing your praise on behaviors that you've targeted as major areas of improvement for your child. It also means maintaining praise beyond the initial accomplishment. So for example, if your child just learned to put their shoes on by themselves and you really want them to keep this new skill up, be sure to continue smiling, clapping, telling them how neat it is that they put on their own shoes now and how much you love to see them do it until that goal behavior is firmly established as part of their daily routine. If we celebrate the first time that they put their shoes on all by themselves, and then we ignore our future efforts, we may find that they're no longer interested in putting their shoes on by themselves. If you've had success with this approach in your own parenting, I'd love to hear about it in the comments below. Next, let's talk about food as a reinforcer. So treats are commonly used as a reinforcer by parents, and I'll share with you an example. Somebody at Trader Joe's grocery store figured out a great scenario to help parents shopping with young children. For years, I packed a snack for my kids to help them through the grocery trip, or we would make it part of the trip to pick out something like the biggest apple to snack on. But when we started shopping at Trader Joe's, we saw add-on reinforcement built into the shopping experience. If you've never been to a Trader Joe's before, I'll tell you that each store has a signature stuffed animal, like Wally the walrus. And as you go down each aisle, you search for Wally because he moves every day. So this keeps kids entertained during the shopping trip and is a great idea. Then at checkout, when the kids are often at their limits, the clerk asks if you found Wally, and if you did, they'll offer you a free lollipop. Talk about a reinforcer for young children. And it keeps the little ones from eyeing all the treats that are typically placed right by the checkout area at grocery stores. Whether you shop at Trader Joe's or a different store, this is an example of using food as an add-on reinforcer that you could set up for your own child as a grocery shopping treat. Maybe if they're well behaved during the trip, they get to pick a decadent snack, or maybe you bring a lollipop and keep it in your purse until checkout. If you're comfortable using food as a reinforcer, let me tell you about another little trick that I loved using when my kids were little, but old enough to eat solid food safely. I would keep a few different flavors of Tic Tacs in the car and have each child's favorite flavor on hand. The Tic Tacs became reinforcers for behavior like strapping in by yourself, or making it to the destination without kicking mommy's seat, or making it to the destination without invading your sibling's personal space. You get the picture. They're the tiniest treat, but very effective. You could certainly use them in the house too, but I just like keeping it as a special car reward. Do you see how simple it is to use add-on reinforcement in your parenting practice, and how much it can help to shape your child's behavior in a positive way? Now that you know the power of add-on reinforcement, I bet you'll use it every single day with your kids. You may be thinking, how is add-on reinforcement a discipline strategy if it doesn't involve punishment? Discipline can be defined as a practice of training people to obey rules or codes of conduct. Then that's exactly what we're doing with add-on reinforcement. We're training children to continue doing the good behaviors that they're doing. We have other strategies that aim to decrease the negative behaviors your child may be doing. This video is actually part of a 4-part series on a core concept in psychology called operant conditioning theory. Add-on reinforcement is one of the 4 components of operant conditioning theory. If you got value out of this video and are eager to learn the other 3 ways that you can use operant conditioning to promote better behavior in your child, check out the video on screen about transforming your child's behavior using operant conditioning for parents. There are chapters in that video, so you can choose to skip the section you've already seen or watch it again to solidify your learning. Keep up the good work on your amazing parenting journey.